Good evening, everyone. We are back as promised, and this time I brought reinforcements.
He let me out of the cage.
Yay. That is Fringlish, of course. He sounds a bit, well, bedazzled by the wine. No.
Wine? This was wine? I thought I was drinking gin. I need my money back. Right, welcome. Did we actually have any notifications about going live, or did we just, just pop in and say,
Well, I did.
"Oh yeah"?
Yeah, I did say everyone we're going live in Forgotten Games, so that's what I did. Basically. Okay, so War of the Kingdom is still going. The difference in points is slowly growing between Kingdom 1 and Kingdom 96. They have been really awkwardly AFK and only got about 200 million points in, I don't know, 5 hours. So that's really bad.
It's a lot tighter for us. Right now we're fighting 3.4 billion points. We have 3.46 billion points. They have 3.35 billion points.
That's why.
And I'm still 52nd in the server rankings for points.
Raimi, please. I am ranked 18 in solo points rankings. And that's mainly because I've been in the castle all the time, but I just had to rushingly recall my troops because of the because Ironbreaker left it. Okay, so your War of the Kingdom was a little bit more interesting. I saw some reports incoming.
Yeah, I did send you a couple of reports, mainly so we can talk about a couple of the different things, a couple of victories for me, a couple of defeats, but mainly I'd like to highlight a couple of the differences. So this first report is, well, I got hit by Elphinox. There's no way I'm winning these fights. No way in heck. However, if you look at it, Elphinox has 4 times my combat rate. And there's no way I'm going to win that at all. But because I made sure to keep my hospitals clear, and because I made sure not to have too many troops on the front line, I only lost, what's that, 8,000 tier 4?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Total, most went into the hospital. I nearly killed the same tier 4 on his side, but more tier 3 died, so he actually lost more points overall. I could remake mine, but my stats are nowhere near his.
It's a bit low. Total attack 142. Some reduction.
Yep.
It's not really high, indeed.
Yeah, the difference is being there that he has 4 times my combat rate, so he has the maximum difference there as well. Pain in the ass. The second one was against Gabe. No, which one? Vicaron. This is another one I failed.
No,
a little bit better this time.
Oh yeah, Gabe, I have it here.
Yeah, Gabe. Okay, this one, yeah, this was someone around about my combat rating. This is just to highlight the point. You should not go in War of the Kingdoms. Do not stay in gathering talents. Make sure you're bubbled, because these are just troops that he has that, well, he no longer has, and he could have if he had just bubbled, because he wasn't in fighting talents, and he's about the same points as I was. I think he had 150 million at the start. I was 170.
Oh yeah, sorry, I skipped 2. Okay, back to the second one. Yeah,
Next one.
it's a nice hit.
Okay, this one is basically, during War of the Kingdoms, or Kingdom vs. Kingdom, stop gathering with tier 3 troops when you're not online.
Definitely, yeah.
Because you can gather with tier 1s, but tier 3 troops, that is just 3 points I picked up. It looks like he was in battle talents because of his scores, but he was still gathering, which is very small armies, so they're very easy to pick off, and it's just 3 points. Especially because he was gathering on his own server there.
Yeah, I see no lord, so he probably was a little bit stronger.
Yeah, gathering on your own server, though, does nothing. Gathering on your own server, all that it does really is give targets to your enemy. You want points, you go to the enemy server and start gathering there.
Yeah. That was really retarded then.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only one. During the kingdom, I may have killed 1 million troops total. Okay, this one, again, this is technically a failure for me. I lost the battle. However, looking at these stats, it's quite a bit different. The important thing is I always make sure to have my hospital empty. But he has 3 times my combat rate, so he has the maximum.
Yeah, definitely. Nice. Cozy, nobody fucking cares. No, just kidding. This is about his report. This is not bad. It's not bad. You always want to have everything in the hospital, what gets hit.
Yeah. The main thing is here, he lost 70,000 tier 3.
Yeah.
Just dead. And this is just to highlight that I may only have a third of the combat rate. My combat rate is abysmal because I only have the free-to-play commanders and I haven't really upgraded those very high. So technically I lost this battle, but it didn't really cost me anything. I regained the resources needed by attacking smaller players, or even a bit of gathering, or even the bank. So the only thing it really cost me is time for healing the wounded. At least I didn't lose any troops, which is the main thing. And then the final one.
See this. Castle being scouted. What?
You're bubbled. How can they scout you?
I don't know. It keeps coming. Then you have Betis. I kind of know this name from something. Ooh.
Yeah, didn't understand this one. Like, I got attacked by him without a scout. He decided to attack me when I was attacking other players. So I let him hit me. But he hasn't... I don't know. I didn't really check everything, but I don't think he sent his lord. He's not in combat talents. He doesn't have combat gear. I don't know what he was thinking there.
Well, not anything after that hit. You were just... It was just there.
Oh, no. After that, I zeroed him.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are just 4 different reports coming from the Kingdom versus Kingdom. Obviously, I got hit quite hard by the bigger players. You know, they have a couple of 700, 600 odd million. Which, the thing with Kingdom versus Kingdom, it's a bit different when you're 300, 400 million size, but when you're my size, about 150 to 180 million, if you're going around unbubbled, the general reaction is, lunch.
Ooh, Elfinox,
So you have to be quite
700.
tricky. Yeah. There we go. So I got hit by Elfinox, I got hit by Chorus. They both hit me, but I'm still around, still kicking.
Oh, I would love to have that as strongest opponent.
Hello, Juliano.
Giuliano, how you doing? So yeah, hey, this is 1 with the 0. What, Dacia?
Yeah, no, I did see one. I've seen that tag round about the place. They don't have any big players.
Bummer. That is a very familiar tag, actually. So yeah, then at least you had a lot more fun than I did. Well, I had fun in a way, but not much activity at all. This kingdom has been quiet. I did gain a lot of points, but just sitting in the castles. Well, that's all. So that's bummer. Nice, Anitas.
So those were just to point out a couple of things that happened in Kingdom versus Kingdom. It's been a bit... I suppose you don't really have much to do now. Weren't you unbubbled and offline for a good half an hour or something?
Yeah. What do you mean? Iris called boring voice. Oh my god.
You can't even right now.
Why the sad face, Nemo? A 370 million guy zeroed himself on me. He lost 2.2 million deaths on my castle. All I had was wounded. Did you guys see what happened to Benny? Did I show you that?
Oh yeah, no, that's one thing we wanted to talk about as well. Let's go and have a look at Benny's reports.
Okay, let me search. It's at the start of KVK, and that's the effect of the blue dragon. Okay, here I was. Oh, what was I doing? Oh, I did take some hits at first. It been killing Quaker's alliance, and there was something really fun with Quaker as well. He was trying to make me hit him, and I sent one of my lackeys to do the work for me. I showed this in the morning thing. Wait, I'm slowly scrolling down here. I'm Snowflake. He was trying to lure me into hitting him. And I was like, this is a trap. This is a trap. He's like 300 million, a little bit below 300 million. So he said, I'm here. So I said to in the group chat, I'm Snowflake. I think it's a trap. Can you please check? And within 1 second, he was there and he was sending an army. And, well, that kind of hurt for him.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a trap, to be honest. I'd expect him to have 6 million.
I could have done it myself, but it was really risky because he is full elite. He needs 2 more research for royals. But other than that, that is still 6 million troops.
Does he still not have royals?
No, he did not have royals.
How is he a 300 million player without royals?
I don't know. He didn't have the royals. Yeah, well, if you have 6 million troops, then you have at least 150 million troops or something.
Yeah, but that's still 150 million from research power, and he still hasn't got royals.
Wait, was that before Benny got hit? It must be. Here we go. Then Benny got locked down by the Blue Dragons. And this is the first report. That hurts. Especially if you look at the losses. That was really insane. That was 3.27 million Royal Cavalry. Poof, gone.
Just instantly dead.
And if we scroll down, because you see,
what makes it worse is they were attacking with infantry first. Their losses are infantry. They were attacking with an infantry first army against cavalry front.
Yeah, true.
So they were at a disadvantage when they was Benny in gathering setup?
I highly doubt that. But they had. Why is this 4 commanders? Oh, that's 4 different buffs. Look at how many buffs there are in their rally. Sapphire Dragon, who of course used blockade, so he couldn't bubble or do anything. And all the other skills, I think when I scroll a little bit further down, you see the skills. Okay. So there's a 40% chance that the enemy troops will be rendered unable to attack. So then you already have a massive chunk that can't fight. And in 3 battles that Sapphire participates, at the beginning of the battle, Sapphire's attack will be increased by 100%, and it will breathe flame on enemy troops once. The flame deals damage to enemies and reduces the damage. So there's a massive damage reduction. Not to mention all the dragons, because he had at least 8 dragons. So they all stack. And you see cavalry attack plus 60%. You have, of course, the Legion damage skills. That means you get an extra 10%. The casualties. Then he has the reroute, so that 10% of your troops are not fighting. So all that stacked together. That was one very, very chunked up rally with all the dragons stacking up skills. And you see there's at least, well, there's not many ancient skills that actually. Oh yeah, we have here 1 full ancient Legion skills. We have here, I think, health. Yeah, this is a free to play, I think, because or at least mid tier, because he has 3 ancient skills, but nothing that you can actually get from Battles of the Long Night, and the same for him. So that only the dragons made such a difference, to have all these dragons boosting your army.
That's true there.
And the Sapphire,
also the fact that it's a mixture of free-to-play and ancient skills, because the legendary and ancient don't stack together. They can stack differently. So having the full legendary, full ancient, yeah, that was painful.
Now check these attacks. I haven't seen an 800 plus total attack yet. And of course the dragon did help there. I think if you look at the dragon bonus of 64%. So that kind of boosted over it from 740, of course. And
yeah, look at the Lord bonus. He didn't have his Lord in there. Or he was in Gathering Talents. He must have been. Look at the Commander, the Lord bonus.
Yeah, there was a Lord bonus. 33%. I think a lot is reduced to do all the ancient skills. Commander, yeah.
Massive difference.
That's just total attack.
That's a 400% difference. No wonder that went painfully.
And I think commander bonus 142% total attack, then you must be full glorious. There's no way you can just pull. I have no total attack on my gear. It's just almost impossible to get. Oh, that's your commander bonus. Wait, lord bonus. I mean, 100. Commander bonus is of course.
Got the commander loyalty bonus, the full difference there. So the tavern has been up. If we go to the combat rating, we'll see the difference there.
Manon Malheur. That's because that's also the reason we had like 4 kingdoms that have a very unbalanced War of the Kingdoms. We have Entrio, the split up. All the strong players are in 96, including me, and all the weak players are in Kingdom 2. However, the game thinks that Entrio is very strong and is all in Kingdom 2, meaning they get matched with a kingdom like Kingdom 99 with very strong players they cannot handle at all. They are incapable of handling because they miss all their strong players. At the same time, Kingdom 96 is much more powerful than the game thinks because all the wheels of Entrio are in there. So Kingdom 1 was actually supposed to fight just Rui with 1 wheel or 2 wheels, and they have WoW has 2 wheels as well, over 1.5 billion. But instead they get all the whales from Entrio as well, which are not registered to this kingdom. So that's 4 kingdoms, Kingdoms 1, 69, 99, and 2 that are absolutely fully unbalanced, fighting each other. So that's basically what happened there.
If we go back up to the commanders for this attack, back up to the top.
Yeah.
Using inventory. So his army at the moment, Ben uses Cav Front. Now, I know that those commanders are, well, mainly they're general commanders, but Sonara over there, it would be much better running pure cavalry in the front, so he missed out on a good 40% there.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, what for you says, Benny runs cavalry front with full infantry on his wall.
Yeah, but some of those, like Arya is general, Clegane is general as well, Seg is more of a general. But you could get more on commanders. The thing with generals was that Jon Snow has 25% and everything in attack, which makes it very good for a standard army. But if you're specializing or have one heavy front line, especially in defense, where you can have even more troops, not just a single army, then you can get 30% in your front line by using specialty commanders.
Did you see, by the way, that they're using Seg and replace him for one of the very, very, very expensive commanders now because of the Awakening?
I did see that, yes. Seg's Awakening really seems to change the balance of power when it comes to fighting. So far, all that I've really been able to work for is Chris on the Awakening. But even so, at level 2, just the differences available in it, it's not groundbreaking, but I can see it all adding up. Like an extra, just at level 1, you can get an extra 3% infantry defense, 3% infantry health, 3%, another 6% infantry defense, 6% infantry health, and a bit of building speed. Then level 2, you're back again, you can get even more defense.
Yeah, and don't forget that you have...
And then a bit of health.
The assault. The assault on level 1 Awakening gives you total attack, which is 1.5, I think, and the max. Or I don't see the max right now. Wait, I can probably calculate that with Chris. If you have 3%, yeah, it's going to be 3%. Okay.
Yeah, well, the total thing with the Awakening with just with Chris, you start off, the first level will give you infantry attack, defense, and health 3%. Second level will give you an extra 6% defense and health. Infantry, then third level will give you more infantry, defense, and health, another 6% on each of those. So you're already looking at, 15% on each?
Definitely.
And then 4% you get infantry 12. So you're basically buffing it. Now, not to mention the fact that individual commanders are better for a single fight. If we look at Clegane, who is one of the best combat commanders out there generally, even at gold, his total attack, total health, and total defense buffs are 25%, which is absolutely amazing in defense because it buffs every single line. But but it's more useful in attack when you're focusing on pinpoint damage, where you want everything to do damage. You want to have your front line okay, but your second line does more damage. You want to split them both so they're still alive. In defense, you can have an awful lot more troops in that front line. So your front line is going to be doing most of the combat, most of the damage. If you can buff your front line more, you might have a bigger advantage. So say you went for a spear army. While Clegane is an infantry hero, he will still give 25% at gold to all your spear troops. However, if you had, say, Gorel in there, he would give you spearman attack 30% and spearman defense 30%. Now you're missing out on the health, but that's not always the case. There are some actual combat commanders which can be used.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course you have all these extra buffs on your total attack. Zack has that on every awakening. So on his 4th stars, he has a 13% boost to total attack, defense, and health during the first 10 seconds, which is 25% of your battle. And don't forget all the full assault, so that is 4 times 3% attack. Now that's 12% attack bonus. That's only when you have him on 4 stars. And then you have the enhanced specialization, which will give him another 3% bonus attack. Because if you look at the specializations, everything gets a plus 20%. So camp training speed 25%, total defense 18%, total attack 18% as well. And then you have the quality. Evolution is just your stars, but you get a lot of other defense star. And you have one more assault, so an extra 3%. So then you already have 18% bonus attack, plus the 13% in the first 10 seconds. That means he'll be on 33% plus the 15% in the first 10 seconds. Oh, wait, did I say 15? 13%. So that makes him much stronger than all the others. Of course, when they start awakening, they'll probably get much better again. But for now, it's definitely Zack who pumps your total stats to oblivion right now. Well,
and it's just that difference, because Benny only had the level 1 awakening of Seg, something I think he'll try and fix very quickly. Because he missed out on, what, a 10% bonus over his entire army?
Yeah. Definitely a lot. Well, let's quickly go to the second attack, because he got attacked again. Because he couldn't do anything. Because of the dragon, of course. Do you remember River from Rough?
Not really.
You had the river and you had the ocean. They were both in Raven. That's during the time of the rebellion. They were both the 2 top players of Raven who really made a difference against Dacia. I just saw her name again. He never changed his picture. It doesn't matter. If you can't remember, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Oh, by that time I think I was already in Kingdom 1. Like I wasn't even in the Kingdom 2 anymore.
Then we had the second attack, and it's by the side of it, it looks even more pale for Benny. That is 5.4 million troops. Poof, gone. And I'm still a little bit confused about it myself. This time, Benny pushed most of his elite troops forward. And I'm not sure how you do that. You can probably accomplish it. No, wait. He probably went cavalry front still. He doesn't have royals left. So first the elite cavalry, which he still had for some reason, took the first hit. Then his elite spearmen. And then he started losing his royal spearmen. But then also his elite infantry and elite bowmen.
Yeah, it looks like he was running a cavalry spear formation there. The fact that he lost his cavalry means he had the spear behind. But again, they were attacking with infantry. So those spears aren't going to do much at the back, and they've already cleared the cavalry.
Yeah. And it's too bad that he had so little royals fighting in this battle. You have 12 million troops. But if you have so much elite still in front of it, you're going to lose a lot of stats and a lot of damage output and defense.
Yeah, looking at the mix-up or the rankings of the troops, it's quite possible that they were attacking with an infantry spear formation, the spears on the back line to kill those calves quickly. So just looking at the difference there, the fact that they're running infantry spears into cavalry spears. Benny was, well, it's unfortunate he lost 5 million there, but was he zeroed off that, or did he manage to get away?
No, he's fine. He has too much.
I think the main thing is he could have easily been zeroed.
Yeah, but I
It would have
think
taken a while, but at that rate of losses, he could have been zeroed. He was getting very lucky there that they didn't continue and follow it up, because they had the perfect counter. They had a really good setup there with a mix of legendary and ancient dragon skills to give the bonus. They had the advantage of a 3rd level Seg against a 1st level Awakened Seg. It was and they completely destroyed his front line with the cavalry the first go. So those infantry front line weren't taking much damage the second time around, and it would have been even less next time because a lot of his tier 3s were down.
so. Let's see. The devastate is so painful. Enemy troops hit by Sapphire's attacks will directly die instead of being injured. And can't attack. No, I was checking the blockade. Sorry, there's this one. Max level 30 minutes. You can't transfer for 30 minutes. Well, you should technically be able to jump up and forth kingdoms. So he definitely used that, but okay.
Yeah. So really, now with the Sapphire Dragon being about, the fact that you can blockade the enemy castle for 30 minutes that doesn't affect transferring from kingdom to kingdom. You need to make sure you're not unbubbled until you're able to change kingdoms. So when you first teleport over, you should wait half an hour, do a bit of gathering, then unbubble, and then you can start fighting because you can always get out. If you don't wait for that first half an hour, it means you can be completely trapped and stuck in one area, and you're further. Well, at Castle 25, you're furthest 20 minutes. That is easily 3 rallies, and if they can double rally you, that's 6. And even if you're Benny, that's over 30 million troops lost.
I think the most painful thing is the amount of troops that Imstring lost is so incredibly low for hitting so many troops.
It was the perfect counter. They were lucky to sort of get the cavalry dead in the first place. Just the difference there. With the added bonus to health and defense as well, which we can't discard, infantry have the highest base attack, health and defense in the game, which means they're a lot tankier. Running the infantry front means that proportionally you're going to lose less troops unless your opponent has a good cavalry setup. But Benny was 400, 500% attack down compared to the others. That's just looking at the difference there. It's the difference in between. Say if Benny attacked me, that's what I'd expect to happen.
Maybe we can see the report because I think through the Sapphire Dragon he couldn't attack as well for at least 5 seconds at all. Let's see if we see anything in this how this fight is progressing. Well, that wall looked already a bit broken there. See some water dancers there. Yeah, the cavalry was gone in a few seconds. This fight's going so fast.
Yeah, just the infantry behind, but the spears in the second row are ripping through the cavalry with that. It's 400% extra attack on top. That total attack on the spears, because the spears have the highest base attack of any unit, apart from bows, but bows don't get a counter. So just the fact of the absolutely massive amounts of bonus attack, the spears were probably twice the power of Benny's units. And then they had the counter as well, which is about 3 times. So the spears were doing 6 times their normal damage that they would do against cavalry. No wonder that melted through cavalry. And cavalry themselves have the lowest health and defense, so they're easier to take apart.
Yeah, and what Daniel said, we went through Sex Awakening earlier. That is indeed true. He has so much power, it's almost as strong as the Sapphire Dragon itself at this point. Show buffs. So yeah, the damage change is just enormous. It's just ridiculous.
All that I think Benny can say right now is thank goodness there's a morale system. Because if it was fighting until the dead, he would have lost his entire army.
Yep. Morale gone. Ooh, if the next dragon will be blocks morale. Yep, you just keep fighting until you totally die. 12 million troops.
Yep, it doesn't matter that Benny's spearman attack was slightly higher. You've got a 500% difference, 400% difference.
Yeah. First attack, instantly the Blue Dragon froze all the troops, and then nothing happened after that. There was no damage output from Benny whatsoever. So 12% of 12 million troops, 30 million, 40 million almost in Benny's case, it matters nothing. And it's something Ironbreaker said as well. We're useless at this point, how we are with N3O split up, because we don't have any zero castles here. So it's just me and Mysteria and Pinky. We're the only castles here, and Pinky is usually bubbled, has a very small army. Mysteria and me are still around 2-3 million. And they have rally size for 6 million troops or more. 6.5, 6.6 on Volgor, 6.5 on Ironbreaker. And we can't fill the rallies. We literally hit someone with 2 million troops. I can show you. I think that was also in the Alliance log. And we just can't use all this potential of damage output because we don't have any damage output. So having all these whales in one location is sounds like something very strong. But in reality, they can't throw full rallies, so they don't have half the power of what normally is. Here you see the rally from Volgorlov. Volgor can hold 6.5 million troops, just like the reports you saw from Eimstring on Benny. But unfortunately, we only had 3 million troops available. So you can be as strong as you want, but if you can't make rallies against players like Cake, who don't even have the stats. Look, this is almost the same stats as Benny had, lower even. And we lose this fight hard just because you can't fill the rally. Of course, where is it now? There is, of course, some difference in dragons, because if you're going to look at the dragons, we did have a level 50 dragon, not a level 60 dragon, but we pretty much see the same things, a little bit less dragons, of course, as well. And I kind of want to see if he used any skills on this as well. Okay, he didn't use any of the Blue Dragon skills, so that, of course, matters too very much, but other than that, you see how hard you lose with almost the same stats if you don't use all the extra things you have, because he has Sec at 4-star too, Cake has Sec at 3-star, but the difference in winning and losing, even though it's almost a similar fight, is incredibly high. As you see here, just Volgor lost his battle completely. While you should think...
How are the troop losses spread out? The advantage Cake has here is only Seg 3 to Seg 4 instead of a Seg 1 to Seg 3. Benny's Seg was a lot weaker than that.
That is true, but then it's still Seg, so it just... in the end, it's a relatively small bonus to your total stats. However, you see the other very notable difference is, of course, the enemy was full royals, while Benny was, especially the second attack, almost more than half of his troops were elites, actually.
Also, looking at this formation, it looks more like it went for a cavalry-infantry formation against a full cav defense, or a full cav front line. So it's possible that it was a cav spear defense, meaning that the cavalry got destroyed. It was a bad formation to attack into, by the looks of this.
What Daniel says as well, we run without any spearmen into a cavalry front.
Yeah, you don't have any tier 4 spearmen, and you went straight into a cavalry front. I think that's one of the big differences as well, because you're missing out on the 3 times counter bonus.
But it's funny that actually the fights are remarkably similar.
It is, actually, yeah.
You would expect an almost similar result. Also, his combat rate is a little higher. But in reality, someone with Benny's power, just to make the comparison, could really massively win this fight if certain conditions are met and if you counter, if you do everything right.
It shows that. I think those 2 reports just show you so much the importance of formation. The extra 3 million would have definitely been nice. You could have doubled your damage output. But even so, say you doubled it, okay? So you halve the damages you take and you double the enemy. You're still losing 800,000 to, 500,000. That's still a defeat despite having better stats. And this just drills in the importance of formation. It's why scouting is important, but if you scout, sometimes you can lose the element of surprise. So it's something so small as formation can change the entire battle by, well, either you lose 255,000 or you lose 5 million.
Yep. And
Also, why the hell did you send Bowman?
I don't know. I was not in this fight. I just saw it later. Unfortunately, I went home. No, it's just 3 guys. But that's more what I wanted to tell about the fact that we have this power. We have 3 guys with, well, at least 2 guys with full glorious, all the commanders, all the stats, they're almost as strong as well, I'm not gonna say South of Afghanistan because then I get some backlash. But they're very, very, very strong players. But they can fail just as hard if they don't have any zero castles to support them. Because that's what they've been asking for. Please, Entrio, for example, please drop those troops. You have no stats. You see Benny has the stats and still loses all his troops in one go. If you meet someone, all these troops are gone. All these bloated Entrio castles with their 12, 13, 14 million troops with 200 total attack, they're going to die. They're going to die at the first sight of battle, regardless of how much troops. It's much better that they just have 2, 3 million troops and come support only the strong players so they can launch full rallies and not only support them in that, but also help in scouting, etc., preparing, setting up attacks before they actually happen, before they go wrong like this.
Just one thing I've noticed, when you're making a zero castle, it doesn't mean that you're not able to attack after that. It just means that you want to avoid taking any damage at all. The whole premise behind it is that you have one army. When you have your lord in an army, that means you also get all the talent bonuses, you get all your refinement, and you get all your equipment. That can make easily 100% difference in any category, be it health, defense, attack, whatever you want. And an army with a lord in it is an awful lot more powerful. So the idea behind a zero castle isn't something just built to run away and not hit and hide your armies. The idea is to have one army so you can attack on your own still, using your lord. You can fight well, you can hit people about the same power, but you deal more damage into a single attack. You don't try and follow it up with a couple more attacks. And with that one army, after you have that one army, you have obviously spare troops. The other troops you have, you want to be able to fill in your other army slots, but not to attack, but to fill rallies. Meaning that the zero castle is, once all your armies are out, you have 0 troops left in your castle. That means if you get hit, you lose nothing. You might lose 1 million stone, 1 million wood, something along those lines. But if you've emptied all your resources into the bank, you lose seemingly nothing. And that's the idea behind a zero castle. Someone that can fill the rallies, but also do opportunistic attacks, which you still have your full stats with you.
Definitely. I saw Pinky was, when Kingdom 96 was invaded, Pinky was having so much fun. Only has 700,000 troops or something. Has, about my stats, is only 270 million rating. So it's just combat and a small army. That's all it is. And there is no reason, if you don't have the stats, there is no reason for you to have a large army, because you will never even be able to fight. You will always be hiding, you will always be making sure you don't get hit. And I've spent my entire day sitting with a lord in my dungeon and nobody attacked me. I was empty because they knew I was empty. And that is the power. You don't have to worry about anything. Your troops are safe in the hands of capable rally leaders who are either occupying King's Landing, the area, or any other castle, or just making a rally to a player. And there is no chance in hell that you can ever waste your troops with your own stats, because you want to make sure, okay, you can do single attacks on low players, of course, but you want to make sure if they hit me, if they hit my 12 million troops or something, if I have to tank that with my low stats, I'm going to have so much losses. But if I, for example, a very good example would be Champion City Siege. If I lose those 12 million troops in the rallies, attacking in the rallies of very strong rally leaders, then I would have had so much more merit, because I would not have milked all those troops for nothing. I would have a lot of kills myself as well, because without stats you don't make kills yourself. So you would get 4 times the merit just because you keep your troops very safe. And of course it's something else with Volker. What Daniel said, he's very true about that. You trust your troops in the hand of rally leaders, so you must make sure those rally leaders are very capable and always making the right choice. So the rally leaders need need to have guidance as well, so they don't waste troops. Because if you know you have 0 castles, you know these people only have 1 million troops, maybe, or maybe 2 million. If you start throwing them away like this battle report, then you are seriously hurting all those players who have just a few troops, which you're just throwing away for nothing.
The only tricky bit that comes with the 0 castle is you need to make sure to be able to avoid being hit. Because you don't have that massive backlog, you don't want to take any attacks. Well, you don't want to take any attacks anyway, as Benny demonstrated. Benny's one of the biggest accounts in the game. Definitely in the top, what, 10?
No, Benny not. Top 10? No, Benny was 1.6 billion power.
1.6. Top 50. I haven't checked in a while. But he's definitely in the top 100, one of the strongest players in the game out there. And yet he still lost 5 million. So everybody holding about 600 million, 700, 800 million points with their 12 million plus armies, unless you're the biggest player in Alliance, unless you're the rally leaders, unless you're the people, well, running the power in your Alliance, you're not helping. Well, don't forget, Benny also lost, 100 million?
Yeah, you were dead on. He was he was ranked 50, but not anymore. Bisaming just passed Kinnison in power.
Amazing, yeah.
Those troops. But you see, 4 and 5 are all N3Os, and they just don't get the troops to fight. Then we have probably some more N3Os. N3O Tywin is on rank 19. Well, there's more. Tweety is on rank 51. So we have a lot of strong players, strong world players. Oh, Nico's still playing. But they just don't have the 0 castles, and it's so important that your alliance has this balance. And I think BCL has that balance, definitely, because I know very lot of players like Perry, etc. They all have no army whatsoever. But they have everything they need. They have high research power, they have a small, very mobile army, so they never have to worry about getting hit or giving kills away to an enemy alliance. And they have all the troops they need to support whenever Kinnison is willing or able to throw out a rally. So yes, I think people should focus much more on 0 castles. And I'm actually glad I did it, because this KVK, I didn't have a worry in the world. That's the first time. And especially as a streamer, I had no choice anyway. Because everybody was giving my courts away. I couldn't do anything. Couldn't stream it, that's for sure.
That's too dangerous. So we just do the Q&A afterwards. Do the after action report. So a couple of things to take away just from this as we've gone over. 1, don't gather with tier 3s. Like, please don't gather with tier 3s in your own kingdom during Kingdom versus Kingdom, because you're just giving away free points. Gather on your enemy server, sure, but not on your own. Also, if you're not one of the biggest players in your alliance, there's no need to have so many troops, because it limits you. It stops you from reinforcing, stops you from helping. You don't need to have 5 full armies. You can have 2 full armies, because you only can attack with 1 army at a time for proper stats. So even with army bonuses, have 2, 3 full armies and then save the rest. As we saw when I got attacked, I have enough hospital space to take the damage. While if I got attacked by the really big players, then sure, I'd lose a lot more. But the really big players don't tend to hit me because I'm 160 million. I'm not worth the time. But I get hit by 800 million, 900 million players. I need to make sure I have hospital capacity for that. And I keep my main armies out so I don't lose tier 4s.
On the world ranking? What do you mean world ranking for KVK? Is that a world ranking? Oh, sorry. Never checked that tab because it's not useful. Okay, I'm streaming is here. Thank you, Benny. You say? So probably Benny be there. So no one. I don't think he gets much points for losing.
No, I don't think you get really many points for losing.
CBCL had some fun there. The OGS bank has been unbubbled, I think. Or maybe that's the problem. Vinny, that's Rui here. Doctor Strange. He used to be in ATD. Tam tam.
It's definitely getting closer on my server at the moment. In the Kingdom 46 to Kingdom 57. Currently we're winning, but it's 3.5 billion to 3.5 billion.
Nice.
There's only 50 million power in it.
That's really scary. Yeah, nice. So yeah, it's too bad. I didn't see much action. I was hoping for some kills. I really was. But no. The most kills I got was when I sniped Sunspear. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, the same guy was in there. And it was a mistake. It was this guy. I knocked him out of there, and then I realized, oh, I don't think this was a red name. And Snowflake was like, oh, you're hitting him, okay. So he zeroed the rest of his troops. So our relationship with the Russians will still be somewhat... Well, sorry. I do apologize, Mr. Arders. It was not a good move of me. But it was late last night, and I don't know. We were just clearing all the castles there, and it was like, what is this? Sorry.
With the reset being at midnight GMT, we always start Kingdom versus Kingdom at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're not always paying the most attention when we start. It does lead to a couple of things.
Yeah. So we're the same army size about that. And it kind of hurt. But it was a much stronger win for me. I have almost double his combat rate, by the way, for someone almost my rating. Of course, my attack was somewhat more coordinated, to say the least, than his attack. And so were my losses. If you go full Spearman into a castle regardless, you can simply, with a small meat shield, you can just attack that and win without any losses. Cozy, I will never lose again on you. You tricked me. So yes, this was actually a perfect hit for me. This is the way I like them. I had a pretty decent front line. Normally I don't have that much front line. And again, by the way, the Spearman front. Not the worst joke, but there was Spearman Cavalry infantry formation. And that's something I really like. Okay, this is where I draw the line. That is absolutely uncalled for. Either you go infantry front or you go infantry second. There's no way you're going to go Spearman Cavalry. Unless you're fighting, I don't know, Expedition Beyond or something.
Spearman Cavalry can be a good attacking formation, but you don't want it in defense.
Yes.
The main difference between Spear Cavalry is if you're attacking, say, an infantry front. Well, Benny found that Spearman Cavalry is very difficult to defend against because you're front piling your attack. However, in defense, when you can make use of the larger numbers, you don't want to have that Spearman Cavalry formation because you're missing out on your best defender, which is infantry.
Yep.
Even if the enemy is going for an infantry, even if your enemy is going for a cavalry attack front line, you still don't want to have your Spear Cavalry in defense. Because after the cavalry, most likely they're going to put the spears themselves. So you want infantry to stop those spears, at least in the second row, or even in the front row. Otherwise you're just taking too much damage.
And he was a lot of spear, and that's another reason you don't want them in the front line. What I always try to do, I have infantry, I sometimes add some royal infantry as well. If I'm not sure about the battle, if I see about equals, I want to make sure I have an extra buffer. But my main damage is in my spearmen. And it's very important, those spearmen, they can never be touched. Because they will do the damage. If they are front, they will have a vastly reduced damage. Because the fact that their numbers are being killed. Which is about the stupidest thing. Well, it's kind of something what you said as well. So yes, always the damage troops in the back. That's my idea, at least. For me. Okay. Not sure what I'm clicking here. Still trying to get the Spearman defense. Don't I have a Spearman defense already? No, I don't. I do have a Spearman attack, so that's my latest edition. I'm really happy about that. That's gonna help me. Still using a purple one as well. But overall, it gives you a lot of extra spearman attack. And I'm leveling it.
Do we have anything? Do we have anything else to cover today, or should we just go ask the chat if they have any questions for us about the game in general?
Yeah, just go ask away. We were gonna do a somewhat shorter stream this night because there was such a little thing happening, and okay, Cozy, Kim, come, give me your reports. Because if there's a lot happening, we can stream a lot longer, of course. Okay, wait. I'm gonna entirely ignore you there, Cozy. I see something much more interesting. Darkfire has been sending us a report. And is it the last one or the first one? Wait. $4,300. Oh, you've been healing those troops. Okay. Duras. Wait, I still have to read it first. Ignore his stats, lol. What's happening? What are we showing? Okay, let's just see what Duras is doing. He first gets attacked by someone and he loses a lot. If I'm correct. Yeah, because you can't attack with 4 million. Full in his elite. Oh, he's full elite. No, he's full elite. He has no royals. So he gets attacked by royals, and that's a very nice attack. But you lose a lot of royals in comparison. Okay. And obviously he regains some troops because he's on the same total amount. And then someone else attacks corpses. It looks like he loses everything. How did you get almost no losses there? Just some defense.
Realize you're looking them back to front.
Those stats are both very low, though. I think this is too low stats for a royal. I don't like it. Hello? White screen of death. Thank you. This is a lot higher stats, and you see the difference in instantly. This is a good stats for a royal player. Top to bottom. Oh, sorry, Daniel. This is you. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, finally. Here we go.
I don't read when I'm trying to check the reports. I was looking for some backstory. So the first, okay, top to bottom. Okay. Corpses attacks Duras and loses his lord. And loses a lot of royals.
Yeah, by the looks of it, this has to be... He ran his lord into a very heavy defensive formation, had the wrong formation running. If we look at the troops lost...
Yeah. This reminds me of how I was in the past. But the question is, why the hell is there another attack coming?
Yeah, he ran spears, or looks like spear cav, maybe cav at the front, straight into a very heavy infantry, cavalry, spear formations to do too much damage.
And he had no lords here anymore?
So he tried to attack again without a lord.
Did he send multiple attacks at once?
He didn't realise his lord was lost, apparently. So he sent his same attack again without the lord. Or he sent an attack without his lord because he didn't realise it was lost. And then the damage just kept on piling up.
He did it 4 times. 4 times. Those are 4 reports of him. That is insane. He did increase his front line, like that would help him.
It's just showing how important the Lord was.
Oh, I can't believe all that.
When he attacks without the Lord, everything dies. Everything.
Why would you even send infantry if you go spear front anyway?
I have no idea. Either way, I think someone is going to be very happy right now.
Yeah. Sorry, I was so thrown off by the fact that he lost his lord in the first report that I thought I was reading it wrong, but I was actually reading it right. Yeah, that is even making it much, much, much stranger.
Okay, Evan's asking a question in chat. There's no real best formation for attacking or defending, but each troop has its own characteristic. So the basics being infantry has the highest base health and defense in the game. Therefore, it's better for tanking damage. Perfect for when you have a large amount of troops that can deal damage behind, so infantry is good for defending. Spears have a very high attacking power. The higher than cavalry, higher than infantry at the base. So sometimes if you get attacked, spears are amazing for doing damage. However, they can be a bit weak. Say if you're defending spear cavalry. Spear and cavalry do an awful lot of damage. Perfect for attacking if you have that formation. But infantry is all the way at the back. So you won't take any damage on infantry who have high health and defense. Instead, as a defender, you're just taking damage on your damage dealers.
Mm. And you can actually see the reports of Lord Command. He's attacking full spearmen, and that's not even bad. Because if they have full infantry, you're just not going to do a lot of damage. But infantry is not going to do a lot of damage on you as well, because infantry usually doesn't have much damage. So if you go one formation, go spearmen. That's the best.
The problem is if the enemy is running infantry spears. Spears will do a lot more damage to your spears than the infantry will. And because of the difference in the front lines, you can take an awful lot of damage, especially while attacking.
Always so, always.
Sean, after you max out military, do you recommend going advanced military or formations if you want to be a fighter? Well, first of all, you want at least a couple formations. You want to be able to change them.
Yeah.
Then I think one of the most important things is the basic refinement. You want to unlock those so you can continue building up the refinement stats.
True, but I also would really start on your expedition pacification. You want your gear. You want to upgrade your gear, especially now.
By then, you should have maxed out expedition pacification. Like, that should be maxed out round about the same time as unlocking tier 4s.
Look, I am done with advanced military. Well, I kind of want the new procedures, but for that I need Royal Bowman recruitment. I'm still a little bit hesitant, so I'm still holding off a little bit on that. It's not that expensive, but I've been just doing some city defense because it's so cheap for now, just for the fun of it and just to bully. No, I want to do an experiment. If I max out my entire city defense, what is going to be if I can see an effect of my wall. So I'm prepping this for an experiment. And so far, all these low levels, just extra research. It don't cost me that much.
No, Sean, if you haven't finished your expedition pacification, I would definitely recommend doing that first. And then you have to choose: do you need more stats? If you need that, go for refinement. Do you need more flexibility, or do you want to change out your formations quickly? If you can't change out your talents and equipment at the click of a button, go do the formations one. And if you want more troops, go to advanced military, make them cheaper.
Yeah, I did refinement almost right away after it came out, and I think I did it in 1.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. It was, in comparison, it was relatively cheap to do. I did skip this one for a long time. I think I'm going to do that now. I think I'm going to do something else first, and let's just grab some research gear before people start yelling at me again.
No.
Funny.
Oh, I hope that can help you, Sean. But if you upgrade the expedition pacification, just the extra bonuses you can bring in for your entire alliance makes it a lot better.
I already started it now.
Great City research tree is only useful if you are a rally leader during the Great City sieges. It's completely useless for 99.9% of us. Not something to work on.
I don't have the gold.
Yeah, I think I missed the Lord Command battle reports that you showed.
Yeah, I scrolled to them. Don't ever say I did.
Oh, come on. You didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. You're not in battle talents, are you?
No, I did the first one. I rushed, and then I did change for this one because this one was too big. Oh, come on. Those 20 days I get in 2 days in this alliance. And Trio gives a massive amount of chests. if anything.
There's still no excuse.
Hero, compliment me. Nice, Lord Commander. Beautiful. Okay, that's your compliment. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Lord Command. I'm going.
Chaotic Shocks. Hello from Kingdom 99.
Okay, so we have more reports from Lord Command. And he's, oh, wait, another formation. How risky of you. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. You don't go cavalry front. It just triggers me.
You can go cavalry front if you know that the enemy's running infantry with no spear backline. Yeah, but I don't really see the point in doing this. You're attacking a lot smaller players than you are, when at a disfavourable percentage. Looks like they've already been hit. There's nothing really interesting to look at this one.
Plus, your cavalry attacks are really abysmally low. Your cavalry stats are too low to use them as frontline. Because this is with cavalry commanders. Stay on Spearman. Okay. There goes my monetization. Thank you very much. No, I don't. No, no, not after what we've been through. You go Spearman.
Even asking another question. I see in the last video you have about 200,000 diamonds. How do you get it? Do you steal it? What do you plan to use it for? Basically, for the past 2 months, I forgot to collect the diamonds at training grounds. That's it. Maybe 4 months, I forgot to collect the diamonds at training grounds. And then that's end of story. I tend to keep alliance coins, pass coins, diamonds. I tend to keep as long as I can. I don't buy things with them unless I need to, because when they're in diamond form, I can spend those diamonds now on speed ups, on transfers, on wisdom books, on badge chests, on resource cards if I need it. But as soon as I spend them, it's no longer as flexible.
What's happening? Why is he funny? Can I attack him? No, it's a friendly. Oh, fuck me. Well, this is a pretty good pack. Oh my god. 6 mine, 8 mine.
Daniel, have you accepted Daniel's friend request yet?
I just did.
Do that?
I think there's some reports coming from his side.
Okay, here we go.
I was waiting for that. Wait, you just want to be friends? There's coming a small rally report. I don't usually, because I'm doing the screen and Fringlish does the chat. I can see the chat much better. I usually just, I don't know, it's not that busy. Okay, just tell me when you send it.
Well, there's a bit of a delay, so we may not have seen it yet. So, do we have any more questions from the chat? Preferably not about my massive amount of diamonds that I'm hoarding like Scrooge McDuck.
Bowman, I swear.
Okay, so unless you share the report, we can't just scroll up and see what you see. We can only see the ones you shared.
I am the person in this planet that wastes my diamond on everything you cannot imagine.
Well, you never have any. I always tune into the stream and boom, you have 6,000 tops.
I can't do this in War of the Kingdoms. That's ridiculous.
Jan's Erlings is asking what we think of the new commander. Are you talking about Uma or what was that?
I'll check Uma. So first I'm going to check this rally report from...
Or Lats, that's the one. Are you talking about Uma or Lats? They're both new commanders that have come out. The one for the Westeros Pass. What?
No, wait, this was a rally... No, this was a single attack you did. Right? Yeah, this is a single attack. Okay, nice.
Okay, that's a prime example of someone who should not have troops. Like, at all.
Like 4 bowmans on the wall. Nice.
4 bowmen on the wall, 600 combat rate, should not have troops.
600.
We'll get to Uma in a second while we just look at this. Good lord.
I don't even care. You
Why?
know? These are royal. How do you have royals? Oh.
How is it so? You taught them an important lesson. They needed to learn this lesson. Like, seriously, they needed to learn this lesson.
I can't believe you have this combat rate with royals unlocked. It's not hard to get this to 2000. Like, literally, it's really, really easy.
I'm stuck at 1,000. It's expensive.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay, it's very easy to get to 1,000.
Yeah, but you
don't
don't
get to 1,000 with free-to-play commanders.
Yeah, okay.
But that's 600. But also, how do you have that many royals?
It's 1.2
and still
million.
600. Why?
Okay, is this another bowman? Okay, this bowman attack is low. Okay. 1.5 million deaths, so that's probably not your first hit on them. And this one has also, well, doesn't have much royals, a lot of elites. And smack into the elites. Okay, this is pretty painful for them. That's all your royals gone, all your cavalry gone in one hit.
Yeah, and by the looks of those stats, that is not in battle talents.
Yeah, and
I'm bubbled in gathering.
And the funny part is he's actually attacking infantry cavalry.
Oh, it's the infantry front line with the cavalry back, so the infantry's tanking, but it's running straight into a cavalry formation. It just shows you the amount of damage that infantry can tank.
Frodo Baggins.
Yeah, he has no lord as well there. Right, there's the difference. Just shows you why you don't want to fight without a lord either.
Okay, this one is a bit more evenly matched. Well, not in terms of army size, but in terms of losses. And we have a Spearman Cavalry formation. Is that is that a single? How do you draft that many troops in a single attack? 900,000. Is that a 75 scroll probably?
That's probably a 75 scroll. I'm hoping it's a 75 scroll. Otherwise, we in trouble.
I think this one is not really.
Yeah, it is a 75 scroll. Thank God. But yeah, it looks like you're going spear cavalry formation there, so that would rip apart infantry. Or you end up against spear. Looks like you end up against a spear defense. So it's still a victory, although a more costly one than you might expect.
Yeah. You almost need a little bit more front line for that one. Just to soak some damage. Maybe 300,000. You lose a lot of attack then, but...
Said Carrick, as a free-to-play player, the easiest thing to increase total attack is first research. Then make sure your talents are set up. And then after that, refinement's probably your best bet to get the extra bonuses.
Ooh. Okay, this is the one where Lord Command got 800,000 kills. No wonder, bowmen are made of paper. Literally, you throw one spear at them and you have 500,000 kills.
Yeah, no, that's pretty garbage, actually. I'm looking at those stats. This was definitely out in a gathering. This was pure luck. Those bowmen, yeah, no wonder you destroyed them. You should not have that many bowmen. I'm sure a 60 million player with tier 3s attacking could have damaged that. Killed them all.
You flew to one streamer to beat. Oh man, all this Russian in my life.
It's well done to find it, but it's not really interesting to look at. I mean, yeah, the talents. How long have they been offline? They don't have their lord, by the looks of it. They're not in battle talents. And you have that many bowmen. What are you doing with your...
Yeah, John is almost
What are they doing with their stats?
A similar attack. It says a lot more battle rating, but that is a lot of bowmen. 600,000 and 400,000 spearmen front. I think this can't be the first attack on this one. This can't be all her troops. She does have a 60... Oh, what is setting on the wall? Oh, don't put this on your wall. At least put on spearmen. Those guys have to defend. You know, you have 400,000 spearmen. There's no reason to put bowmen on there. You want to boost the spearman attack. And even if... I'm sure you have at least 2 spearmen, Gorel and Varus, that are better than a grey bowman commander who gives no stats whatsoever. Even if you go... What do you mean, Son of Use? Did you get zeroed? I don't think this time your dead army will return after KVK.
The problem with having bow commanders on the wall itself is absolutely useless. A lot of bow commanders have things like fortification increase and wall increase and wall buffs, but you times 0 by 10, it's still going to be 0.
Yeah.
Instead, you should times 5 by 2, giving you 10.
Yeah, what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna max out my wall, and it might take a few months. It's okay, and I'm gonna make maybe 1 million royals, or let's say 500,000 royal bowmen. Then I'm gonna invite one of you to grab an army of 500,000 and attack that wall with my 500,000 bowmen behind it, and see how you fare. And then I'm gonna try to find someone who has about similar stats. That is
I'll be willing to attack you there, and we'll see if a fully maxed out playing wall can defend against a free to playing single attack.
I think my lord's gone.
Probably, actually, thinking about it, you'll probably kill my army before I get to the wall, but it'll be interesting to check.
Yeah, because it's a bit low now, 1.3, but the durability is not going up much because I was checking in refinement. I scrolled past and wall defense now. It's gone already. I keep re-rolling those, of course, but no, I can't say that. But the wall defense is something entirely different. If I go to details and I go about here, that should be pretty much here. It's bowman defense. You have city wall held. You have wall defense increased by 85. It was 135 with my refinements. It gives you 60%. But that's something entirely different. So there's actually no stat really showing you where your wall defense is when you go to your wall. What your wall defense exactly does. So I just want to run some tests in, or maybe I just empty my castle for a while and just put just very small amount of bowmen just to see the effect on the wall, etc. No.
Right. So going back to the question we got asked earlier, what do you think about the new season pass commander Uma?
Yeah, Uma. I love the name because it reminds me of Umaga from the WWE. And I've been checking her. What do you mean level too low? Then level her up, you fool. Yeah, you don't look like you like strawberry pie. You want some stew, my dear? Look, did you see what I posted? The face on man's bottle of poison. The description, an unassuming coin, whatever, and then Vala Mogulis, Vala Daheris. What? One day I just want to go through all the commander equipment and like, what the fuck's going on with this? They just...
Some of these things don't make sense.
They just grab random Godwick or Game of Thrones references and throw them all into a massive bowl and then just roll all the items out of there. It's hilarious.
Well, Uma's, I think, as a commander, is a rather interesting one. It's not like unlike other commanders, she doesn't buff a single troop. Rather, she makes a certain formation, or she makes spears a lot more potent against cavalry.
Yeah.
So against infantry, if you're fighting an infantry or a spearman army, she's probably not the best commander to have out there. But her abilities that allow you, well, not only to increase your spearman attack, which is one of the most important, and it is higher than the general, so a 30% at gold. She also reduces enemy cavalry at health by 15%, and enemy army general defense by 10%. So it does help for some, but this would mean that your spearmen become an awful lot stronger against enemy cavalry.
Fringlish.
Yeah.
What will we see behind this? You have army skills, then you have strategic skills. See it? Below her.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think the strategic skills are going to come into play in the Battle of Winterfell event that's coming.
Oh yeah.
And we saw some screenshots earlier from the Pioneer. It's possible that each commander will have different skills to use. It might be a sort of semi-auto chess thing, if you know that before.
Yeah, because I've Chris Awakened, and it doesn't unlock it. So. Let's go to Yuma's skills.
So her army skills are, I suppose, her army specializations are very specific, but extremely powerful if you fight against cavalry. Then her skills. Well, I've just unlocked her, so these won't be very high for me. At least the level. But at level Scavenger Insects, reduce defense of single target by 2,000, absorb the target's health. Target takes same damage, and you recover damage as well. I mean, combine that with her pretty high defense, to be honest. At 5,000, she has a fairly decent defense. Not as high as a normal tank, but the fact that she can self-heal and deals more damage to enemies, extremely potent. She also recovers health when an enemy unit dies. So if you if you put, say, Arya behind her, someone dies, Arya becomes stronger, she heals, like, you blitz through an entire rank. Then the Insect Queen Intimidation, 60% chance to deal more damage to all enemies when taking skill damage. This is, I think this will become extremely potent. The fact that you damage all enemies, including the back row, and it's whenever you take skill damage, which can be affected by an awful lot of things. So it's possible to deal that twice, 3 times around, if she survives, and she might do because of her health regen. So you're talking an extra 10,000 damage to everyone.
I think
that is an insane amount.
Yeah, I think she's going to be decently potent in the training ground as well.
Yeah, and not only that, the Uma gains 3,000 defense for every ally defeated, lasts until the end of the round. So with just one ally defeated, instantly she's as good as a normal tank. Instantly her defense is 8,000, 9,000. With 2 allies defeated, she becomes one of the more potent tanks. Better than Chris when he's buffed. Better than Russell. Better than Rob. With 3 allies defeated, if that happens on one rank, she's going to become tankier and tankier combined with her healing. Her skills are going to be very tricky to play against, I have to say.
I'm going to say if you match her with Simon behind her or something, I think that would be even better in the training grounds. Because I've been using Simon in the training grounds. Actually, I couldn't show you because of the War of the Kingdoms bullshit. And I see a lot more people do it. And it's actually really, really, really successful. Because he just have to get a skill of once. I did win a lot. Let's see. Yeah, Simon is broken as mad. He's healing so hard. And if she heals as well, she's going to be a perfect frontline. You know that. Better than, how you call this? The Stark Girl.
Well, no, Sansa is an everyone heal, although her self-healing puts her way above Russell. And the fact she's a Spearman hero helps as well. Although that's not the scariest thing about this commander. These stats are already absolutely amazing. Do you want to know the absolute scariest thing with this commander?
How did I win this?
Do you have any clue, Reaper? What's the scariest thing here?
From Uma. Wait, I go back to Uma.
About Uma. Yeah, the scariest thing about Uma.
Yeah, both when she kills and both when she loses friends, she's gonna get buffs out of it. That is
scariest things aren't any of her physical characteristics. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? What makes her even scarier to... Well, maybe with the combination. What if I told you that combining her with another character would buff all her abilities by 50%, at least, if not more? So she would be doing 15,000 damage. She would be recovering 4,000 health. She would be gaining 4,500 defense. She would be vampire leeching 3,000 damage and regaining the 3,000 health. Uma has a base of 230 for a 250 strategy. That's it. It is one of the lowest strategy effects in the game.
Oh, yeah.
That means by pairing with someone like with someone like Jeannie, who increases the strategy by 150 as base, you are increasing her basic abilities by in between 50 to 75%
Yep.
instantly. That's how strong she can become.
As you can see, Jana in Mermaid's Cleverness adds 150 strategy. Since her strategy, and you have to watch... Oh my god, they switched everything. Here, her strategy is so crazy low. So you see that it will add another 70% easily. Well, if you look at someone like Belisandre, let's like call her a full mage, she has a crazy high strategy. So she will benefit much less from the buffs from Genie than someone with a very... And we saw that earlier with someone like Russell. He had the same thing. Very low strategy. So whenever something like that happens, you know his skill's going to be twice as potent.
To put that into absolute values, just in the normal combat, in a round, say the enemy has an entire load of effects that go off. Instantly, Uma with a 60% chance. Let's lower that. Let's put 50%. She'll deal 10 to 15,000 instant damage to everybody in the enemy side. That's half the health of your backline, at least.
Yeah.
She will also, the healing's not so much, but she will vamp out 3,000 damage and heal 3,000 damage for that, as well as reducing enemies' defense by nearly 3,500. Now, reducing the defense by 3,500 can cut a normal tank's defense by a third. Reducing a tank's defense by a third will mean all your damage does an awful lot more, all your other commanders. And then she'll gain 5,000 defense. If she's buffed by, say, Genie, she'll gain 5,000 defense. She can easily, if 3 allies die, that means her defense will be 20,000.
Yeah.
Her plain defense value will be 20,000. If you don't counter that with a skill, if you don't counter that with another effect, she will laugh off every single attack you do. Not to mention, every time she attacks you, she's going to heal. In other words, it's a priority target. To take her out, you're going to need Arya if she's already got a boost. You're going to need Soren. You're going to need Obin, or maybe Sheila in front of her, and you're going to want to target her down as soon as possible. Because if you let her stay alive with these skills, you can't kill her. She will not die.
Yeah, and she's extremely potent against the targets that do a lot of skill damage, or a lot of often skill damage, like Obin. He is doing faster and faster skills, and he's just going to get that hit straight back in his face to his entire team, with Insect Queen's intimidation as well.
So the only advantage is that her health is a little bit lower than a standard tank. So it will be tricky to position her well. You want her in the front line to take more skill damage, but she is weak at the start. So she is going to be vulnerable to sniping. And if she dies very early, it's a complete waste of her abilities. So it's an interesting fact where you want her in the front line to take damage, but you don't want her to take damage straight away.
Yeah, I don't think it will be too bad, because, for example, Sansa has 34,000, and we put her on the front line as well. She has already 40,000 on Grey.
Yeah, the advantage of Sansa, though, is her base defense is a tiny bit higher, but she also has more healing abilities herself.
Yeah.
And she heals an awful lot more. You put Sansa on the front line, you see her health go down very quickly, despite her relatively high defense, but she can heal it back. Uma can't heal at the same rate, but her skills are an awful lot more fighting. Her skills are an awful lot more geared towards fighting. Uma is going to be scary, but is going to be a priority target. If you know what you're doing against her, she won't pose that much of a risk. But if you leave her alone, if she surprises you, she will be an absolute monster in the training grounds, no doubt about it. And working with it like that in the clearing the werewood, getting her to gold in the werewood, would mean that she does an awful lot of damage, because you can put her against a side lane, so she takes some damage but not too much, and ramps up a lot easier than against players. I have a feeling she is going to be one of the go-to commanders to deal with things like the Werewood Memory event. Using her in the Werewood Memory event against a lane without a boss, I think, is going to be extremely potent.
I was quickly checking Let's Scream, but I think Let's Scream will be a lot less interesting, but she will be very good against commanders that really don't have to, that you really want to prevent from using skills like a Kravras enemy or a Sansa. It's like some kind of Varus style combat, but
yeah, it seems like Lats is sort of maybe the counter to Uma or the counter to any skill-based tank. For a start, Lats as a commander is far superior. She increases infantry health, attack, and defense by 40% each, which is one of the highest bonuses you can even see in the game. As an infantry commander, she is by far the best.
Yeah.
By far. There's no one that even compares as an infantry commander. However, her skills are mainly geared towards doing a lot of damage. Her command and prowess is quite easy. Her strategy is fairly high, so she won't get buffed as much. Her skills, I think she could be a fairly decent semi-tank, but her Blades of Truth that deals 13,000 damage and reduces the might exactly is taking out the skills of an enemy, making sure they can't use them, would absolutely rip through Sansa. Putting her in front of Sansa, not only would you do more damage, but you also reduce the might, meaning she doesn't get a heal off. This is definitely a sniping character. You can also recover health after every 3 attacks, where you need to survive that long. It's not a very big heal, I have to say. At 4,000 after every 3 attacks, compared to the ones that heal a lot more often, you're only healing about 1,500 per attack.
But I was checking, because both her and Yuma can be frontline. The only difference is Let's Corinne has a heal bonus of 62%, so she probably benefits from that on Night Assault as well, and Uma has a 0 heal bonus. That might be a small difference.
And then we also have Liebreaker, where attacks deal additional damage equal to 10% of the enemy's target current max health. So, yeah, Lance is definitely, well, one of the best, well, I say one of the best infantry commander in the game. No question about that. As for, we don't know about Awakening, because I think Seg probably beats her out just because of the added bonuses you get, but just for a plain specialization viewpoint, the best infantry commander. I'm not sure how much use she's going to be, but taking out Sansa in Werewood Memories is going to be her forte. Or taking out, say, I'm trying to remember the name, the old guy. Simon. Yeah, taking out Simon, or putting her on the back row, and making sure she hits Arya, for example, stopping her from wiping you out, or Sabrina. Or even running through the front line, trying to destroy it to hit Bean in the back. Definitely a sniping character you're looking for.
Nice. Hey, I think we're kind of stopping this. Because we talked about a lot of things, and, well, more things to do. The War of the Kingdoms is pretty much over. And I hope we can do a bit more live streams in the near future. A little bit more of the Q&A type.
Yeah, well, we started off, we had the War of the Kingdoms, so we went over a bit of what we saw there, after action report. We got a couple more of your questions. Went very heavily into theory there of the new commanders. Sorry if I end up waffling on a bit. But we should be back sometime next week with another Q&A. I think we're going to try and do at least one a week, aren't we, Reaper?
Yeah, that would be nice.
So, until then, hope you had a good time. And thanks for watching. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.